And continuing with a story that we have been following pretty extensively this evening, just after 5 o'clock tonight, a man walked into the church in Sacramento. That's in the Arden area. He was there for a supervised visit with his 3 kids. He ended up shooting and killing the kids and the caregiver who was there with them today.
So this evening, Sergeant Rod Grassman with the Sacramento County Sheriff's Office told us there was a restraining order against the suspect, described it as a domestic violence situation. Those were his specific words, domestic violence situation.
Yeah, and while there's still obviously a lot to figure out with this specific case, we want to talk a little bit in a bit of a broader view tonight. Joining us now live in the studio, Julie Bornhoft. She is the Chief Strategy and Sustainability Officer at WEAVE. Yes. And we should get this out. WEAVE stands for When Everyone Acts, Violence Ends.
Yes.
So, Julie, obviously, Nikki and I kind of mentioned coming into it that there's a lot of things we don't know. So we're not going to make direct points, connecting points with this. But we want to ask you, we know what Nikki said, there was a restraining order. So when somebody issues a restraining order and it's put upon somebody, is there sort of this kind of like this false sense of security where they think, okay, the restraining order and the rules that go along with that, they're on this person and they're going to adhere to the rules. We're safe, we're done.
Possibly, but those that are experiencing domestic violence are experts in that relationship. They're looking for some sort of relief through the restraining order. When we at WEAVE work with anyone that's experiencing domestic violence, fluid, ongoing safety planning is always part of that. That there is a restraining order, but that has also then shifted the power and control dynamic in the relationship, and volatile people can escalate.
So like Eric mentioned too, again, this is still early in this investigation, there's a lot that we don't know. But anytime you hear domestic violence situation, we don't know if it was, between the mother and the father and the kids, we still don't know. But no matter what the situation is, when you're faced with that and there are kids involved, I imagine the woman, whomever it is, can feel trapped. They're not really sure, do I go to the police? Do I go to someone like you? Or I don't know, do I tell a family member? Where do I go?
Exactly that, and every situation is different. It's a very important part of our philosophy and how we approach the legal systems. Doesn't feel like a safe choice for everyone. While it may be an option for someone else. Culture, religion, family, just access to other supportive services all play a role. They all have to be part of each person's plan. And yes, isolation is a very key part of domestic violence. Abusers work actively to isolate their victim from family, from support systems. That's really been compounded throughout the last 2 years with the pandemic as well.
Julie, you deal with a lot of people who are confronted, whether it be restraining orders or domestic violence cases, or and far too many times, both are often coupled together, I would imagine. And so when a restraining order, somebody has a restraining order put against them, there are some rules and regulations that they're expected to abide by. Right. And one of the big ones here is that if you are somebody that has had a restraining order put upon you, that you are not allowed to carry a gun under any circumstances, which obviously was not the case.
All too often it's not the case, and one of the most critical things we can do is fully commit to taking those guns from prohibited persons. Someone with a history of domestic violence and access to a weapon means the others in that home, including the children, there's a 500% greater chance that they are going to be killed. We know the combination of someone who will harm their partner and their children and have access to a weapon is a recipe for disaster. We do not have enough resources to be able to go and ensure those weapons are removed, and it has to change.
So prior to us sitting down for this conversation tonight, and again, we wanted to come in with this saying there is a lot about this story that we still don't know, a lot of investigation going on as we speak. Yep. But you said something that I think struck the both of us. You were like, while we're having this conversation tonight, there's going to be another victim. While we're sitting here talking, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's startling and it's horrifying. So what services at WEAVE, I mean, if someone is struggling right now and they're seeing this, I mean, what can you offer them? What does WEAVE do?
If someone's ready to reach out right now, there's a 24/7 support line, 916-920-2952. If calling's not safe or not your preferred communication, there's online chat. Go to weaveinc.org. That website is full of a lot of resources if someone's just looking. We have emergency shelter, we have counseling, we have a comprehensive legal program that can address the need for the restraining order, child custody, divorce, that whole range of family law needs are available through Weave. As I stressed before, we know each situation is different. We're not going to tell anyone what to do. We're simply here to try to help you stay safe.
Julie, first of all, thank you for being with us tonight. It's late, it's 10:20 at night, so we appreciate you making some time. And second of all, thank you for the work that you do within our community. I think that a lot of people hear Weave and they know in a broad sense of what you do, but I don't think they know when it gets down to the nitty-gritty about the amount of people that you help and really what you deal with on a day-to-day basis. So thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for being here for our community. And as things continue to come forward with this case, that I hope we have the opportunity to sit down with you again and sort of hash a little bit more of this out so that people have a better understanding of how to prevent themselves from being that person that Nikki mentioned to you, the next one.
I agree. Prevention
You mentioned
has
that.
to be a key part. We can't only talk about domestic violence when an adult or children die.
When we're in a situation like this.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Julie Bornhoff with Weave, thank you so much for being here.